Sounds like Europe. Cross-border podcasting.
Hello and welcome to Sounds Like Europe, Cross-Border Podcasting, a project brought to you by WePod. I am your host, Javi Caminero. As I'm sure you already know, the WePod website is a fundamental part of this cross-border project. On wepodproject.eu, you can find updates about our productions, all the episodes of our podcast, and also very useful tools like the toolbox or the knowledge repository. We already talked about them a few months ago here in Sounds Like Europe. Today, I want to use this space to let you know about a tool that can be a key factor for the podcast industry in Europe. Those of us who work in this field like to meet people who do the same as we do, to have the opportunity to connect, to share ideas, and that's why the Talent Farm was born. WePod's Talent Farm is a kind of LinkedIn of podcasting that seeks to facilitate progress and connections between audio professionals from different parts of the world. To learn more about the Talent Farm, today I'm joined by one of the minds behind this idea, Enar León, project manager at Prisa Audio, WePod's Spanish partner. How are you?
Hello, Javi. Thank you for having me here today.
Thank you for being here. You literally sit next to me in our newsroom, so I followed closely all your meetings and the whole process you have been part of to launch the Talent Farm. So what is exactly the Talent Farm and how did this idea come about?
Okay, so first of all, I want to make a quick review of what is our WePod digital hub. Mm-hmm. This is something that we designed on the first place to help podcast professionals in anything we can. So on one hand, we have all the information, as you said, regarding the WePod project. There we have all our podcast and all the things that we are doing. Mm-hmm. And on the other hand, we are working on gather all the things that a podcast professional need. We had an episode of this wonderful podcast some months ago about the toolbox and the knowledge hub, where we gather all the information related to tools and to knowledge in this area, in this industry. And as you say, we presented in Milano. I think in Milan it was about 1 month and a half ago, something like that.
Yeah, it was mid-March.
Yeah, we presented the Talent Farm, and as you said, the Talent Farm aims to be a kind of LinkedIn for podcast professionals. So there you can have your profile and you can't access to this platform if you don't have a profile. So the goal here is to keep it private, just for podcast professionals. So you write down your profile, you fill your profile with all the information regarding your skills, your experience, and also your podcast, your projects. And this is important for all the things that I'm gonna explain you later. And you can explain, tell in which languages you are able to work, in where are you from. So anything you want to write there that make it easier for anyone to find you.
Okay, so here we have, just for everyone to know, I have my profile on the Talent Farm here in front of us. So just to explain to the audience and to explain as well to me, because I just created my profile, I didn't dive pretty much into that yet. What can I add into my profile and what does anything that I can add mean, referring to my potential connections to other professionals?
So the idea here is like the subtext of everything we are doing here is to try to create a European podcast industry. So what should we feel in our profile here is whatever you think will make easier for anyone to find you in the European podcast industry. So first of all, you have your personal data, of course, and your location, and then you have the account information with some like general details, and then you have the specific information about the skills you have, the areas where you are working. It can be production, pre-production. It can be, I don't know, script writing, voice, I don't know, whatever you are working in, marketing, distribution, whatever your skills are and wherever you are working in. And yeah, we have some of them defined, but this is a work in progress. So sometimes, for example, it happened during the European Podcast Academy. Some of the people who joined the talent farm asked us to add some new skills, some new expertise areas, and we are adding them. Although we have always the other box where you can explain better what you do. Yeah. Of course, we want to add as many things as we can by default. So yeah, we were thinking like, if I'm, for example, in our case, we are doing Mar de Rabia or Camioneros and we need some producer in Poland or in Romania or in France. So maybe it's something difficult to find using like the current tools like LinkedIn or something like that. But if I use this talent farm and write down, for example, producer located in France, there we will have the search results where some professionals that I can use.
So here there's this blank space in which you can describe yourself, but also you can add your languages, your skills, as you were saying. And also I think this is new, and this wasn't here when I first created my profile, and this is interesting. It's a direct question. Are you looking for a job? You can just select if you are open to finding a new job, or if you are not looking for a job and you just want to connect.
Yeah, because we discussed a lot with Iberus, that is the company that have made the technological development, if that was necessary or not. For example, for us, thinking in Prisa Audio, sometimes we just want to connect, I don't know, because we want to make an interview or someone, or maybe to chat or something like that. So yeah, I think it's easier if we, on the first place, we explain if we are open to work or not, or if just we want to contact with someone. And I think that will be very useful, I guess. I hope.
And then there's this other part of the website, which is My Portfolio. What can anyone add to their portfolio?
Our idea here is to add all the podcasts you've worked in. Independently of if you have the IP rights of this podcast or not. Just to have all the productions you've worked on, and in those that you have the rights, you can mark them as I'm the owner of this podcast.
And you should talk to me directly, right?
Yeah, because then we will have this, we already have this second part, the IP marketplace. So those podcasts in your portfolio that are marked as I own the IP rights go straight to this IP marketplace, and you can commercialize with them in this section.
This IP marketplace is this other part that has come with the talent farm. Explain to us what's the IP marketplace. What goals do you have in mind when you set this part of the website?
So at first these two sections were conceived as different sections, but now when we started to work with the design, we learned that these were like one section with two parts. Like you have your profile, you have your portfolio, and some items in your portfolio can be sold. So the IP marketplace is the place where you can buy or sell your podcast conceived as IP, as intellectual property. So, for example, if I have a podcast, like it's a fictional podcast series, and I want to sell my podcast, so it can be a TV show
or a film or whatever,
or a book. You can put your podcast in our IP marketplace, and anyone can contact you to buy it. Or maybe you will have the rights just to translate the script to other languages and countries, so you can sell them. Or maybe you are, I don't know, a TV producer, and you are searching for some new ideas. You can see all the catalog there. So
so it goes both ways.
Yeah. As it's not that easy to find a complete database of podcasts that can be sold as an IP. Our goal here is to have this database created by the owners of the IPs.
Yeah, I feel like it's something, so far at least, that you can only find if you go and ask to the creator of the podcast, okay, what's the deal with your idea here? But now if you can see it on a website, I think it can change the game. Yeah.
You have all the information there because you have the description, you have the topics that the owner of the podcast describe the podcast, not the ones that are on Omni or on Spotify, but you can use the hashtag you want to describe your content. So maybe it's easily found, because we don't have like such a tool to find ideas or audio ideas. So this our goal here is like to have it all in one glimpse, and you can contact directly with the creator, because sometimes, I don't know, you see that on any streaming platform, you see the podcast in Spotify, but you don't know who the creator or the owner is. But in this platform, you will know who the owner is, so you can contact straight to him, and that's it.
Then it adds another perspective that follows this path of making this industry a bit more professional and a bit more serious in that way.
Yeah, we hope so. We hope to get that.
And we have this talent farm, the IP marketplace, but as you mentioned before, we talked about the knowledge repository, the toolbox. How do these last parts of the website, the talent farm and the IP marketplace, how do they integrate with these former ones?
Our goal here is like to connect all the content with the creators. For example, if we have someone that have podcasts and also have articles, in the future we will see that for example, I'm reading a paper that has been written by, I don't know, X person. Maybe this X person has a profile in the talent farm, and maybe she or he owns some podcasts that are also on the talent farm. I forgot to tell that in the talent farm you have the possibility to send messages between users, and this functionality is the same that you will use to buy or sell an IP.
I think on paper and on the website, now that it's functional, I think it looks great. It looks like a great opportunity to keep knowing people, to keep the industry growing even beyond WePod, because WePod will end someday. So having this website to go there, to research, to read a paper, and to find someone that can sell you an idea or just to chat about an idea you liked, I think it's a great opportunity, and I think it's some great work you guys have put together.
Thank you. I think it will be very useful if we have a lot of podcast professionals joining us at the Talent Farm, because as many that it will be useful if we have like volume. So our goal now is to go to a lot of places. We will be in a lot of podcast conference, trying to spread the voice of the how important it is to have a profile in these platforms. So here the key is volume.
Let's hope so. Let's hope everything works out. And we're talking about the Talent Farm as a great milestone in a few years' time. And before we end the episode, I would like to ask you these classical Sounds Like Europe questions. I think you have come prepared for them. So what's your favorite podcast right now?
Sounds Like Europe.
Said no one ever.
Yeah. Yeah, as you said at the beginning, we sit very near. So as you've been following this path with the WePod Hub, digital hub, I've been following your way with this amazing podcast. So it sounds like Europe is my favorite one.
Your final answer?
Yeah.
Okay. And what's your favorite moment to listen? I normally say to listen to podcasts, but what's your favorite moment to listen to me?
So my favorite moment is while I'm doing some other things. For example, while I'm walking, while I'm cleaning my house, and also I learned to say, so I always say this wrong, 2 years ago. So this is something that matched perfectly well with podcast.
Yeah.
So yes, I have a lot of clothes that I made while listening to. I do love space podcast and space exploration podcast.
Okay.
So I have a lot of clothes that I made while listening to that kind of podcast.
That's an interesting practice, because I think it goes together. I think that if you were to sew something without listening to a podcast, maybe you won't be able to do it. I don't know if you're aware of that. Enar León, project manager at Prisa Audio, thank you for joining me in this episode of Sounds Like Europe.
Thank you for having me.
And to everyone listening to this interview, I've been your host, Javi Caminero. Please take a look at the WePod project webpage and to the talent farm. I truly believe, as I said before, it's a fantastic opportunity to meet professionals of this industry and to make it grow, which you know is the main goal here at WePod. I will be back in 2 weeks with a new episode of Sounds Like Europe. Bye-bye.
Sounds Like Europe, Cross-Border Podcasting is a WePod podcast funded by the Creative Europe programme. Hosted and written by Javi Caminero, sound design by Manu Tomillo, coordinator Alexander Damiano Ricci, executive producer Anna Ribera.